Hello gorgeous girl, welcome back to my channel, and today we're talking about 20 things that I wish I knew before turning 50. And if you're new here, hello, my name is Tracy and I am turning 50 years old on November 22nd. Yes, I was born on a cold morning in Pittsfield, Massachusetts back in 1974. And listen, I am very upfront with my age. I think, aging is something to celebrate. If we're not getting older, then we are dead. So I think that a birthday like this, though, like sort of a milestone birthday, it really does make you reflect a little bit and sort of assess your life. So that's exactly what I want to do today. And hopefully if you are 50, 60, or 70, you will be nodding your head and hopefully you can share some wisdom with me in the comments. And if you're younger watching this, I really think you're going to resonate with this video because man, do I wish that I knew some of these things. So the first thing that I really wish that I knew is that you get to create your own life. I grew up in a family, my father is first generation American, his parents were from Italy, his upbringing was very different from mine, and my dad, he did really well for us, right? We were definitely very middle class. I wasn't really wanting for anything, and because of his upbringing and his relationship with money being, pretty much poor himself when he grew up, there was always a fear around money and around, that there's just not enough. And this kind of scarcity mentality, which is probably generational, right, in my family. And I just think that especially now with the age of the internet, and there's just so much possibility here, especially if you live in the US, in Europe, in Canada, you get to create your life because guess what? You're watching me here on YouTube. You could create a YouTube channel if you wanted to. You could have an Instagram account if you wanted to. Social media has just opened things up. But if social media is not your thing, it's just such a wonderful world of possibility. So it doesn't matter where you come from. You don't have to have been born with a silver spoon in your mouth, or if you had a silver spoon in your mouth when you were born, you can create and you get to decide what kind of life you want to create for yourself. And I didn't really figure this out until I hired my first life coach when I was 24 years old. And at the time I was like, yeah, of course I hired a life coach, but really I was only out of college for 2 years. And that was, number one, a big investment for me, but it was also a huge step. And that really changed the trajectory of my life, I truly believe, because it really had me focus on self-worth. It had me focus on worth too, and just money and abundance and creativity and what kind of life do I want to create. Now, we could go down a huge rabbit hole here, but listen, if you're listening to this right now, I don't care if you're 85 years old, you can create your life. Look for examples of people that inspire you, that lift you up, and know that it's never too late. So the next thing that I wish I knew was figure out what you love and what you're good at. You might love something, but maybe you don't really have the skill or the expertise, or it's just not comfortable for you. But I really think if you're considering a career change or even just a side hustle, and this is the moment to have a side hustle. I mean, opportunities are everywhere and globally, right? So really think about what are the things that I would do in my spare time, and I would do them for free. And if you're looking to create a new business or a side hustle, that's the first place I would start, is what are the things that you truly, truly enjoy doing, and what would you do for free? And I love a side hustle. Let me just tell you a little bit about myself if you didn't know this. So I started off, I was a dancer, and then I was like, what am I gonna do with my life? I was waiting tables because I lived in New York City. I needed to make money. So I was waiting tables, and then I started getting into Pilates, and I was like, I think I want to become a Pilates instructor. I was broke as they could be. I asked my dad for $2,000 to get a Pilates certification. I got my Pilates certification. I started teaching Pilates mat classes while I was waiting tables. And then I started getting enough classes that I didn't need to wait tables anymore. And then I got another certification, and I think I got my personal training certification and my Pilates reformer certification in there. Then I was working at the gym full time. I wasn't waiting tables anymore. And then I started thinking about online business. So then I had my gym, and then I started a little bit of life coaching and online business. Then I started a YouTube channel. And I'm sharing all this because it was like, I didn't really know what was going next, but my day job or whatever it was providing the income, so I was never in a place of stress. All right, so having that kind of overlap, then basically I had my own Pilates studio in New York. I had that forever while my online business was growing. And then I stayed with my Pilates studio much longer than I financially needed to, but I love my clients so much that I just didn't want to leave them, you know? And now obviously everything that I do is online with my fitness membership, with my YouTube channel, with, you know, collaborations and everything that I get to do. Point of sharing this is just start. You know, figure out, what do you like to do? What are your interests? And really lean into that, because I promise you, if you're looking to have a side hustle or even a career change, if you are making some moves while you're doing the thing that's paying the bills, it will pay off. I promise you. The next thing that I wish I knew is that it's just never too late to change your mind. You know, number one, I was single girl in New York City, living my life, doing my thing. And I met my now husband when I was about 36 years old. We dated for 4 years, and until I met him, I was like, I don't want kids. Like, I didn't want kids. And I think after we were dating for about 2 years, it just like came upon me, and I was like, I could see myself having a family with this man. Now, we didn't get married until I was 40, so I didn't start trying to have kids until I was 40, and then I was blessed with my daughter at almost 45 years old. It was a lot. You know, a lot of you have asked me about this. Like, I went through IVF. It was a journey for sure, and I'm so grateful that I now have my gorgeous, beautiful, healthy daughter, but it's okay to change your mind. And I forgot about this. One of my girlfriends told me, you said that you didn't want to have kids, which I don't really remember. I remember saying I definitely wanted to be married, but I didn't know if I wanted children. But, you know, maybe if this is not your experience, you know, it's never too late to change your mind. It's never too late to change your mind. You get to, right? So if you change your mind about something, that's great. Fantastic. Lean into that. That's wisdom. That's age. That is a beautiful thing. The next thing that I wish I knew was what my perimenopausal symptoms were. I have to tell you, I had no idea. And now, thankfully, there's just so much more research that's out there about perimenopause, and that it can come up to 10 to even 15 years before your last period. So when I was in my 30s and I was waking up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I literally could not get back to sleep. I also felt a little bit of anxiety and just started noticing different changes in my body. There wasn't as much information even 5 years ago that was being presented publicly. So notice if you have symptoms that are coming up for you, I would say put a little note in your phone and track your symptoms, because you could be in perimenopause and you just don't know it. And these symptoms, now when I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so perimenopause, of course, but I had no idea. Now I am about 2 years into menopause. I share a ton about menopause here on my channel. So if you're looking to learn some more about it, check out any of these videos after this one. The fifth thing that I wish that I knew before turning 50 was that your health really is everything. I mean, it's truly everything. And the more life I live, AKA the older I get, the more I realize that it's, you know, your health really is everything. If you are not feeling good, whether it be a cold or some kind of a chronic illness, a broken bone, a fracture, or just aches and pains, you're not going to be showing up as the best version of yourself. So it is so worthwhile to invest in yourself and your health. You know, you are worth it. And I promise you, you know, that chronic disease that maybe someone got at 70, that actually started in their 50s, right? Because of your lifestyle choices. You know, what are you eating? How are you moving? What's your stress level? What's your sleep life? And I know that I talk about this a lot on my channel, but it bears repeating. You know, my dad would always say this to me, Tracy, if you don't have your health, you have nothing. And when I was 16, I was like, oh, Dad, you're so annoying. But John Campoli was totally right. Your health is everything. The next thing that I wish that I knew and that I really focused on a lot more, especially when I was younger, was that beauty really comes from within. And yes, I'm talking about your beautiful personality, your kindness, that gorgeous smile on your face, but it's not just that. It's what are you eating? How are you feeding your body? What are the thoughts that you're thinking about yourself? You know, I really suffered with very, very low self-esteem, which kind of manifested as me being like jealous of other people, which now it's so funny because I am like the biggest champion of like my friends and like, oh my God, you look so hot, like you're so great. And it's like because I'm happy with myself. But when I was like in my teens and my 20s, I was so insecure. And I also had like not very great and healthy relationships that helped that insecurity, but I digress. Beauty really comes from within. Celebrate your own beauty, you know, feed yourself well, think well, hydrate, right? Making sure that you're really nourishing your body from the inside out, because again, once we get older, those results are going to show up so much later in life. And I truly believe because, you know, I really started healing not only my personal relationship with myself, but also my eating. You know, it's been 20 years since I've been on a diet. It's been 20 years since I've eaten like crap, fake food and things like that. That really shows, right? That's probably a huge reason why I feel good and I know that I look good and more importantly, that I just like who I am at this age. And that's really my mission for you and for any woman that comes across my channel, is that you just genuinely like yourself and you show up in the world as that best version of you. Beauty comes from within. Workouts matter. You got to move your body. I could go on and on and on, and I've got tons of videos here on my channel about what you should be doing, but you've got to be moving your body on a regular basis. That's why I created my fitness membership, Total Body Transformation, because I wanted it to be super easy for women, no matter where in the world they live, no matter what their workout clothes situation is, no matter what their age is, no matter what their fitness level, that they could just get up and do a workout anywhere. You don't have to have a matching workout set, but it does matter that you move your body, because if you don't use it, you will lose it. You will lose your muscle tone, you will lose your strength, and especially as we get older, this matters so much. When I was younger, my workouts were, I want to be slim, I want to look a certain way. Now it's, I want to live well. I don't want to have aches and pains. I don't want inflammation. I want to be able to play with my daughter and run with my daughter and really just be a vibrant, active person, because that's what matters, right? The special occasion is today. You know, I see so many women that will say like, oh, I've got this amazing outfit, but like, where am I going to wear that? Or, you know, I've got this great dress, but like, when am I going to wear that again? Or, you know, I have this like beautiful lipstick, but like, I feel like I'm overdressed. Good, overdress. Like, let the special occasion be today. I think this is such an important thing that we realize, like, there's no guarantee for tomorrow. We don't know what's gonna happen, right? I don't know, I don't have a crystal ball. So let today be the special occasion. If you've got a beautiful dress, I actually thought about wearing this dress that I wore to a wedding, which is like chef's kiss perfection. And I was like, I should wear it for this video, but it takes 2 extra people to get me into it, and only my husband is home. So I was like, you know what, forget it. I don't want to risk ripping the zipper, so I'm not. But, you know, if I could have, I would have today. Like, be that person that's a little bit overdressed, because in my opinion, there's nothing worse than being that person that's underdressed. So let today be the special occasion, because it is a special occasion. You're alive, you're here, you're well, you're healthy, and that is something to be celebrated. Oh, my ladies, and especially my mamas out there. Number 9 that I wish I knew: support is waiting for you. Support is waiting for you. There is no award for being the most exhausted, busy, overrun, overwhelmed person out there, right? There is no award for that. So just know, and I know, of course, right? Everyone's gonna have different resources, everyone's gonna have a different budget. I completely get that, but here's the thing: support is waiting for you. There might be a teenager in the neighborhood that's really great at social media, and you need some help with social media, and you can pay them whatever, you know, or maybe they need an intern that you can hire to help you with something. You know, cleaning your house. I'm sure there's some mom in the neighborhood or someone that's looking to pick up a few extra bucks, and you know what that's gonna give you? Time. You know, I have to say, this is the first time in my life. I've been in business for myself since 2008. This year, 2024, is the first year where I'm like, wow, I feel so supported. And it's because I just have made it a complete non-negotiable. In my business, I have an amazing team. I love you. You guys are incredible. And I'm just so grateful for each and every one of you. I have someone that helps me clean my house once a week, which is wonderful. I know that's a privilege, you know, and I'm so grateful for that, because it helps me, again, to focus on the things that I do. If I'm spending like an entire day cleaning my house, then I wouldn't be able to create content. content and do my job, right? Or spend time with my daughter. You know, I have an incredible babysitter that helps me a couple times a week who my daughter thinks is just like her best friend, right? And I just feel so grateful because on the other side, I've had support that actually wasn't very supportive, that wasn't really looking out for my best interests. So no matter what your budget is, no matter what your resources are, get creative. Maybe you can trade with someone. Listen, I'll clean your house if you babysit my kid, you know, like 2 hours a week or something. Like, just get creative, get the support that you need, because I'm telling you, it's gonna help you to really show up as the best you that you can be, and you are worth it. And let me just remind you again, there is no award for being overwhelmed. Start a good skincare routine today. If you don't have your skincare dialed in, this is your sign to do it today. Find something simple that really works for you. You know, in fact, I was actually featured in an article in the UK Sun, and I mentioned in the article that when I was 18 years old, which now is, you know, I know kids are doing it much younger now, but I was like, oh, using like an anti-wrinkle cream, something over the counter, probably like Neutrogena, that's all I could afford. But my point was, I started taking care of my skin by the time I was in high school. Nothing complicated, nothing crazy, but it's really important that you find a skincare routine that works for you. You know, I always say on my channel, a good gentle cleanser, especially as we get older. We don't want anything crazy. Most people will need some hydration. If you have oily skin, maybe you don't, but most of us start getting drier and drier and drier and drier as we get older, which is not fun, you know? And then things to really lock in that moisturizer, whether it be a hyaluronic acid or a snail serum. Then I always go in with some antioxidants. I've talked about a bajillion times. My herbal face food is a wonderful serum that's 100% plant-based, and it really just is great for your skin, for the vibrancy, the tone, the texture, and really nourishes your skin. And of course, sunscreen. But really, if you don't have it dialed in, it's never too late. So I would do it now and get a skincare routine that also works for your life and your lifestyle. Like right now, I've been experimenting with a layering system over the last, I'd say, 6 to 8 months, and it really has made a marked difference on my skin. I'm like, where are the pores that were here that started getting bigger and bigger and bigger? They're gone. So it's never too late to switch it up, change things around. But again, you don't want to find anything complicated that's not going to fit in with your life and your lifestyle. I wish I knew this before I was 29 years old, but really F the scale. Like, I teach weight loss. I have a whole weight loss course here. If you haven't already checked it out, all the information will be in the description box if you want to. But I'm telling you, I have not weighed myself for pleasure. I mean, I guess it's not really pleasurable, but I haven't owned a scale. I haven't had a scale in my home since I was 29 years old. And I used to live by my weight. And honestly, your life is worth so much more than the number on a metal box. So for me, how do I maintain? And I understand that, like, as women, sometimes we want like a marker of like, how am I doing? I get that. I think your clothes are like one of the best places. To have a pair of pants that, like, you know, when those pants get a little bit tight, time to rein it in a little bit, right? Maybe you are bolder and you're like, put on a bathing suit. Do I feel confident? Do I feel good? Do I feel like the best me that I can be right now? Fantastic. And other people like to do measurements, and it really doesn't matter. There's no one size here. Yes, I would say have some kind of a marker, because if you're only wearing like yoga pants all day and something with a stretchy elastic waist, you might not notice as things are getting a little bit bigger. I know I've experienced that myself, right? So just find a way that you kind of like check in with yourself, but don't do it by the scale, because you are worth so much more than a number. And on that note, ditch the fake food. Again, in my teens and 20s, I was like the fat-free queen. Remember Snackwells, girls? You remember Snackwells. And oh, I would make like fat-free cheese sandwiches. Like, how gross, right? Or I would make something and I would put fat-free sour cream. Like, the thought of that now makes my stomach absolutely turn. Eat real food. Like, it's very simple. You know, if you want to look better, you want to feel better, you want to age well, eat real food. If you see something and you read the label and the label of the ingredients is like super, super long, do not buy it. Throw it out. Eat real food, simple food, less ingredients, things that come from the earth, and I promise you, you're gonna look and feel so much better. Now, you knew I couldn't do a video without talking about something from a style perspective, but in my opinion, if you're gonna invest money in things, have it be bags, I would say would be the first place to start. You know, it doesn't have to be a bajillion dollars either, but you know, if you want to buy something with a label, I would say a bag is a really great place to start if you wanna just kind of upgrade, or if that matters to you. Now, some of you, it might not matter to you at all. And also, there are other like mid-range bags which are maybe not like known like a Chanel or like YSL or something like that, but they're beautiful, they're gorgeous, and they're maybe in that like $300, $500 range. But you do want to have a piece or two that's just a little bit more polished and put together. And I also think, you know, if your budget will allow, shoes too. You know, bags and shoes, I think it just kind of grounds the outfit. And now I'm at a point now where I'm like, I don't really need any more designer bags. You know, I say that now, but it's been over a year. I haven't bought a single designer bag. I'm like, no, I'm good. Like I have colors, I have bags that I like, I have like a little collection, and I am good. And now that I have a daughter, of course, these will be passed down to her as well. So it is a bit of an investment there. So bags and shoes, I would say, ground your outfit. And then everything else, I mean, I do videos on this all the time. I love Amazon, right? I love like vintage shopping. I love finding unique pieces. You know, the price or the label on the clothing, it really doesn't matter. I mean, also it doesn't matter in the bags or the shoes either, but I'm saying if you want to invest, if you want to polish, if you just want a little bit of a notch up and you can, I would do it in a bag or a shoe rather than clothing, because I really don't think it matters. This is like super old. This is silk, but it's probably 10 years old. These are Zara jeans, probably from 6 years ago. I do have on Gucci little slides that I've had also for a million years, because they're Gucci, so they last. They're wonderful. I did have them resold recently, but like these are shoes I've probably had now for like 8 years, something like that. So, you know, the confidence level really comes from you. But if you are in a position where you can invest in something, I would do it in a bag, maybe a shoe, and that's really all you need. And the next one is something for you. So again, I just want to thank you so much for being here and being a part of my community. We're almost at 300,000. So if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing, click on the notification, and really, I just love this incredible community of women that we're creating here on YouTube. And my next tip for you is girlfriends are everything. You know, research has really shown that if you want to have more longevity in your life, you need to have good social interactions. And especially as women, our girls are really, really important. They help us reduce stress, they help us laugh, they help keep us youthful, you have a good time. So, you know, guard your girlfriends and have, you know, you don't have to have a ton of friends. Like, you know, in the 20s, we probably had like so many friends, big groups. So now it's like, I have a very small circle, but I cherish my small circle. I love my girls, and it really matters. So I try as much as I can, you know, a couple times a month to see my closest friends, reach out to my friends that don't live nearby, because not only do I love them, but I also know it's going to help us live longer. So pick up that phone, call your friend, visit your friends, spend time with your girlfriends. And of course, you can count on me as one of those. So the older I get, the more that I realize that you won't have it all figured out. You just won't. So stop trying. You know, a perfect example of this was last month. I had two things that I'd never done before. Number one was I officiated a wedding to a dear friend and her now husband, and I'd never done that before, and I was so nervous. And then the other thing was my retreat in Italy, which was just a couple weeks ago. And those are two things that I had never done before. And I will tell you, the older I get, the more that I realize, like, you're not going to have it all figured out. Things don't have to be perfect. And I think that there's such beauty in like just trusting yourself and being like, F it, let's go. Trust yourself. You don't need it all figured out. You don't need to rehearse your life. Just do it. Go for it. I wish that I didn't care as much about what other people thought about me when I was younger. And the older that I get, the more that I realize people are just going to judge you. They are. And you cannot make everyone happy. Let me tell you, if I had a nickel for every time someone told me I had fake hair, fake teeth, fake skin, fake lips, no one's accused me of having fake boobs on YouTube, but like, come on. I've literally been accused of all of these things on YouTube. Oh, and the biggest one lately is filters. I don't use filters. There's not a filter on my camera. It's just called lighting, good lighting. But point being, like, you're not gonna please everyone. And if you're not someone's cup of tea, that's okay. We all have the power to move on. And I think as women, like, do not let the fear of other people judging you, stopping you from doing anything at all, like anything. Just show up and be yourself. Some people are gonna love you and some people won't, and none of it really matters, because all that matters is that you love you. So I always just think, like, just let it go and just focus on being fabulous. Healthy, good hair is gonna upgrade your looks so fast. I know you guys have been begging me to do a hair video. I promise you I'm going to. We've just had a lot going on here behind the scenes, but having good hair color, I color my hair at home. I actually just did it myself last night. It just saves me so much time and money, making sure that you have a style that works for you. I really think an investment in a Dyson Airwrap, if you can, is you're never going to regret it, because it just makes having good hair easy. You know, if you can, or if it works for your life and your lifestyle, I have a membership at a blowout place when I want to really have like a more smooth and polished look, and it just kind of ups my confidence a little bit. And just making sure that you keep your hair healthy. If you're doing all these things, eating healthy food, hydrating yourself, you know, not eating crap, your hair just genuinely is going to look better. And also because I don't bleach the living daylights out of my hair like I used to, my hair grows longer, it's healthier, it's thicker, it's fuller, and it actually, you know, I didn't have any of that like postpartum hair loss. I was very lucky after having my daughter, so I have noticed that my hair has actually improved significantly from my 40s and beyond. So hair matters, and it's going to be one of the quickest ways to just up-level your look. This one's really easy, and I'll keep it short. Cut the toxic people in your life. If someone's toxic and you can, like, get rid of them, get rid of them. Don't hang out with friends that make you feel like crap. Don't hang out with people that make you feel like crap. Don't hang out with people that gossip. Don't hang out with people that just make you feel less than in any way. And that's one of the beautiful things about aging, you know. It's funny, I had an experience recently, I don't want to say too much because you just never know who's watching, but I had an experience recently where someone said something to me, like just kind of like an off the comment remark about like there being a chat and something about me, something that I said and did and how I was like presented in the chat. And it was so funny because I was like, I'm so glad that I'm likely 15 years older than this woman, because I was just like, why do you even care? Like, what do you care? Like, get a life. So anyone that just kind of gives you that sort of vibe, or just like, and look, that person might not have meant anything from it, it doesn't really matter. But again, it's like, I'm very discerning on who I'm spending time with. So when I see that person, I'm like, not really sure if like we have the same vibe. Maybe I'm wrong, and I'm always happy to be wrong. But my point is, if someone gives you like a funny feeling, trust your intuition, trust your gut, and just hang out with the people that are your champions and your cheerleaders. And again, you can count on me. This is a huge one that definitely I leaned into and had to lean into more since becoming a mom, which is work-life balance doesn't exist. You know, it just really doesn't. Now, of course, I run my own business, so it is hard, especially with the nature of my business. Like sometimes I have to post something on a weekend, or, you know, review something on like a Friday night at like 6 o'clock, you know. And so while I can put boundaries and sort of encourage things to be a little bit more contained, that idea of balance, I think, is just another way that we have been patriarchally brainwashed into making ourselves feel really crappy about ourselves. When I'm working, I'm fully working. And even like if my daughter's home and let's say I have to work that day until 4 o'clock, she gets out of school at 2:30, like there's a babysitter here, you have to play with the babysitter. When I'm done, I am so happy to play with you and spend time with you. When I'm spending time with her, I'm spending time with her. I try to leave my phone away from me so I'm not just like getting tricked by the phone and getting sucked in. So don't put that pressure on yourself. And there was an interview recently, I saw this woman who's like a CEO and has like, runs like 4 companies or something. And she reminded me of this, like, and I think she has like 4 children. So I have 1 and I struggle. So if you have like 5 kids, like hats off, you know, but I have 1 child, and it's very challenging because I love her so much and I want to spend so much time with her and I want to nurture her, and I'm running a very big business, so it's a lot of things. So don't put that pressure on yourself, just get rid of it. And the last thing that I want to remind you is that you, yes you, I'm talking right to you, are gorgeous, you are fabulous, you are beautiful, you are amazing, you are forced to be reckoned with, and you really have the power to be seen and to show up fully as the best version of you, and I promise you can count on me to help. So that's what I've learned. I mean, there's a lot more, obviously. Let me know in the comments if there's anything here that you want to dive in deeper to. I'm happy to. And again, thank you for being a wonderful part of my life. I love this community and I appreciate you so much. If you want to keep hanging with me here on YouTube, check out this video next, and I'll see you there.